It was the year 1888. First struck in and near the Whitechapel district in the East End of London. The canonical five victims, one of England's most famous strings of murders to date, left the citizens wanting answers to who had committed these vulgar crimes. The killer named themselves Jack the Ripper. There has been many witnesses, culprits, leads, and theories tied to the case of Jack the Ripper. There is yet to be any answers to close this case. No one knows who in fact Jack the Ripper is. In the article Jack the Ripper, it is stated that despite countless investigations claiming definitive evidence of the brutal killer's identity, his or her name and motive are still unknown. That is why this case is known worldwide, since it remains unsolved. Investigators and ripperologists, people that study Jack the Ripper, have been after these answers to the case for over 100 years. It will not stop until they get them. In today's speech, I will be covering the unsolved case of Jack the Ripper. We will be taking a look at the crimes he committed, what has left the case with no closure, and the many theories and popular suspects in the case. Jack the Ripper has been tied to the murders of many people called the Canonical Five. These five women were tragically murdered, and names are Mary Ann Nicholas, Anne Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. What all these women had in common was their work in prostitution. At the time in London, it was usual for women to do this type of work since they didn't have as many rights as they did back in those days, and it was just a job opportunity for them to earn money their own. It is stated in the article Jack the Ripper, English Murderer. In each instance, the victim's throat was cut, and the body was usually mutilated in a manner indicating the murderer had at least some type of knowledge to human anatomy. There has been similarities that have tied the five murders together. The victims known had been all women. Their occupations were the same. The way they had been killed were similar. They were murdered near each other, and most of the women had some type of body part taken out of them. In the informational video, The Grisly Murders of Jack the Ripper, it was noted others believe that the Ripper claimed to at least 11 women, the lives of 11 women. Then there has not been any justification to that statement, but it insists that the Canonical Five are not Jack the Ripper's only victims. With these five murders taking place, it caused an uproar in the citizens of London wanting to know more about the murders. It gained popularity. This caused many people to come forward with different stories. The last time they saw the women, the different descriptions of the murderer. Was this the reason that Jack the Ripper case was never solved? With little to no evidence the police had as to who committed these murders, there were letters that were sent to the police, supposedly from Jack the Ripper. In the article Ripper Letters, it says that hundreds of letters were sent to the police and local press purporting to be written by the Whitechapel fiend. Many of these letters have been deemed fake by the police, but one famous letter, known as Dear Boss letter, is thought to be as one of the only actual letters sent from the killer, but nobody actually knows if it is fake. There have been many suspects, but there has been no serious connection by DNA or have seen these murders being committed. With many different stories come different theories on who committed these crimes, but which theories can be backed up by actual evidence? There have been many famous theories to Jack the Ripper case. The article The Ripper of Our Nightmares, 5 Theories of Jack the Ripper's Identity, goes over 5 most popular theories. The killer was an immigrant, a doctor, a mad midwife, and even Queen Victoria's grandson. These are actual theories that people have come up with and continue to find evidence that one of these will be true and lead us to the actual identification of Jack the Ripper. One of my favorite theories is explained in the article, was Jack the Ripper a woman? This is a theory that the Rippers has been a woman the whole time and have been under the nose of the police and seemed to think, since the police at the time seemed to think only a man could commit these vulgar crimes, and it still continued with no suspicion of a woman. As the theory goes, the most likely suspect may be Mary Piercy, who was convicted and hanged in 1890 for the murder of her lover's wife and child, and who used a method similar to the Ripper to commit the crime. Going over the case of Jack the Ripper, do you have any theories of who could have killed these 5 innocent women? With the case Jack the Ripper still open, no one knows who has been the killer and what caused them to perform such terrible acts. Who knows if someone can be carrying along the legacy of Jack the Ripper? And there are endless possibilities, and maybe you can even find out who the actual Jack the Ripper is or was. Thank you.